Just for the right to drive the PMA, they have to hobble all the way to the clinic, queue up for an hour or more, get the doctor's memo, and then be forced to pay the consultation fee. On 14 December 2023, the Active Mobility Advisory Panel, or AMAP, submitted a list of recommendations regarding the regulation of personal mobility aids, or PMA, such as mobility scooters and motorized wheelchairs. I won't go through all the recommendations, but today I'll only talk about the two most important ones. The first is to reduce the speed limit of all motorized PMA from 10 km per hour to 6 km per hour. The second is to require all users to be certified to have a medical need before being allowed to use mobility scooters. This can be in the form of a doctor's memo, and it only applies to mobility scooter users and not electric wheelchair users. The suggestion to reduce the speed limit to 6 km per hour, I fully support. I agree with AMAP's position that mobility scooters should be used by people with genuine mobility problems to replace walking. It should not be used as an alternative mode of transport for able-bodied persons. Therefore, 6 km per hour, which is the speed of a brisk walk, makes sense. As for user certification, I am much less enthusiastic about this suggestion. Back in 2018, when this idea was first voted, I spoke out against it. And today, I feel the need to speak out again. Firstly, let's look at it from the perspective of the old auntie and uncle who already has problems walking and therefore they need a mobility scooter. Just for the right to drive the PMA, they have to hobble all the way to the clinic, queue up for an hour or more, get the doctor's memo, and then be forced to pay the consultation fee. Don't you think that is such a terrible inconvenience to our senior citizens? Secondly, let's look at the burden that the whole of society has to bear if we were to do user certification. As it is, we already have long queues outside the clinics, especially during flu season. With user certification, you get hundreds and thousands of people being added to the queue. But these are not people who are ill. They are just there to get the doctor's memo so that they can drive the mobility scooter. And then you'll get another set of complaints about the queues at the clinics getting longer and longer. What if another pandemic happens and we have another shortage of medical professionals? I don't think it's right that our precious medical resources are used to solve a non-medical issue like PMA abuse. It's going to add to our healthcare costs unnecessarily. Now, it's easy to criticize, I know, but I also have a suggestion. My suggestion is just focus on the speed first and delay user certification. That's because I believe just by hammering on the speed, much of the problem will already evaporate even without user certification. Young riders love one thing: speed. Once you make the mobility scooters slow, most of the able-bodied persons will start to switch over to other vehicles such as e-bikes, bicycles, and motorbikes, simply because they are faster. As a case in point, our company, Falcon Mobility, does not have a specific policy to ban the sales of mobility scooters to able-bodied persons. Yet, we don't get a single able-bodied person coming in to buy our mobility scooter. All our customers are either elderly or handicapped. Why? Because almost all our mobility scooters are between 6 to 8 km per hour, not even close to the 10 km per hour limit. Therefore, I suggest that we delay user certification and just start by implementing the speed reduction and make sure that we enforce it. Let it run for 1 to 2 years and then see whether speed reduction has the effect curbing PMA abuse. If it solves the problem, which I think it will, then good, we don't need to implement user certification. If it doesn't solve the problem, then I suppose no choice, we will have to go ahead and do user certification. But user certification is a very blunt weapon. Not only does it hurt the genuine users, it also imposes a cost on the whole of society too. It should not be taken lightly. We should not implement it unless all the other measures have been tried and they are proven to be ineffective. I have thousands of aunties and uncles who are my customers, and they are going to get affected if user certification is required. If I don't speak up for them, who will? If you agree with what I just said, that user certification should be delayed or avoided altogether, unless there is really no choice, please like and share this video.